Well, if you didn't think things could get worse in the United Kingdom, then you'd be wrong. Especially when you remember the fact that Keir Starmer is currently the Prime Minister. Now, today on BTV News, we're going to be discussing what I can only describe as a sinister scheme. A massive amount of detail has recently been revealed regarding the government's approach to the digital world, and it is a massive, massive red flag. I'm going to unpack the hard analytics and give you my theory as to why this is actually happening. We've known about the social media ban for under 16s for a little while now, but there is a new development that goes beyond protection and enters the realm of total state control. Keir Starmer is reportedly set to introduce a nightly social media curfew for 16 and 17-year-olds. Let that sink in. A government-mandated lights out for your digital life. But before we break down how they plan to enforce this insanity, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more from BTV News. We are independent and we don't take a penny from the establishment. Let's look at the cold, hard facts of what a 16 and 17-year-old can do in the UK today. Under Starmer's own logic, a 16-year-old is mature enough to vote. He wants to lower the voting age because he thinks they are politically engaged enough to decide the future of the nation. At 16, you can join the Army Foundation College and start a military career. You can play the lottery. You can legally have sex. At 17, you can get a license and drive a ton of steel at 70 miles per hour. However, according to Keir Starmer, you are simultaneously too fragile and too incapable of handling a Facebook feed after dark. How does that make sense? How can you be trusted with a ballot box and a rifle, but not an Instagram account at 10 p.m? I want to ask you right now in the comments, does this sound like protection to you, or does it sound like the government is trying to treat nearly adult citizens like property of the state? Write control in the comments if you think this is a step too far. Now, let's get into the why. Why these specific apps? The ban list includes TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, X, Reddit, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and Threads. Fine, right? They're protecting the kids. But here is the massive red flag. Blue Sky will reportedly not be included in the ban. Someone in the government has decided that Blue Sky, the preferred echo chamber for the hard left and those who couldn't handle the free speech on X, is perfectly safe for under 16s. But YouTube, which is one of the greatest educational resources in human history, is banned. This isn't about safety, it's about filtering. The government is losing the battle for the youth. Hard analytics show that despite the media's best efforts, young people are leaning more towards the right side of politics. They see the housing crisis, they see the cost of living, and they aren't buying the woke narrative anymore. So here is the master plan. Phase 1, lower the voting age to 16. Phase 2, ban all social media where independent creators, like us here at BTV News, can provide an alternative viewpoint. Phase 3, funnel them into safe spaces like Blue Sky, or keep them trapped in the school system where indoctrination is rampant. We've already seen what's happening in schools. They are teaching children to oppose Nigel Farage and Lee Anderson. In some cases, schools have actually put Benjamin Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, Nigel Farage and Lee Anderson in the same radical right-wing category. This is pure indoctrination. By removing social media, the government ensures that the only information a child gets until the day they vote is the information provided by the state. Do you think it's a coincidence that the ban targets the platforms where the government gets the most criticism? Let me know your thoughts below. And if you're finding this analysis helpful, make sure you've subscribed to BTV News. The government will tell you they are protecting young minds. But remember, that's exactly what they said about the Online Safety Act. They told us it was there to protect children from harmful content. Now look at the logic. If the government successfully bans all children from social media, then the Online Safety Act should be scrapped, right? It would be redundant. But we all know that won't happen. Why? Because the Online Safety Act was never about the children. It was a Trojan horse designed to monitor and control you, the adult. The small print of the Online Safety Act is about punishing harmful but legal speech. We've seen the results. People are getting 2 or 3 year prison sentences for hurty words on Facebook. Meanwhile, the government is looking at scrapping jury trials for these types of summary offences. Why? Because a jury of your peers, ordinary British people, might look at a Facebook post criticising immigration and say, that's not a crime, that's an opinion.
The government can't have that. They want a judge, a state employee, to hand down the sentence without the interference of the public. Lower the voting age, indoctrinate the youth by banning alternative news, control the adults through the Online Safety Act, remove juries so you can't fight back in court. Is this the Britain you recognise? Is this freedom? Drop a comment below. We need to get these videos out to as many people as possible, so please like and share this broadcast.
Keir Starmer wants you to believe he cares about the safety of children. He cares so much that he wants to ban a 17-year-old from using TikTok at night. But let's look at the hard analytics of what else he allows in the name of safety. So far, between 75,000 and 80,000 people have entered this country illegally via small boats. These are largely unvetted, unchecked men from nations that the UK government itself warns you not to travel to. They arrive without passports, without background checks, and they are placed in communities across the country. If Starmer cares about protecting the youth, why did he vote down a full national inquiry into the grooming gang scandals? Why is he dragging his heels while more and more people enter the country illegally? The analytics suggest a sinister reality. The government doesn't care about the safety of your children. They care about the votes of the future. They are the same people who follow the Fabian Society's master plan, a slow, methodical capture of the state to ensure a permanent left-wing majority. Starmer is confident about doing 2 stints, 10 years, because he thinks he has 3 more years to finish the re-education of the British youth before the next election. By banning social media for 16 and 17-year-olds after dark, they are trying to unradicalize, their word for convert, anyone who might be seeing the truth about the economy, the borders, and the state of the nation. They want to squeeze every possible vote into the Labour column by 2029 by ensuring no external media can reach the younger generation. How can a Prime Minister claim to protect children while leaving the borders wide open and ignoring the grooming gang survivors? It doesn't add up, does it? Tell me what you think in the comments. It is a very, very dark time in the United Kingdom. We are seeing a pincer movement on our freedom. On one side, the youth are being blinded by digital bans and school indoctrination. On the other side, the adults are being silenced by the Online Safety Act and the threat of prison for unapproved opinions. This is all part of a huge plan. Do you see it now? Do you really see it? It isn't about mental health. It isn't about safety. It is about ensuring that the next generation of voters never hears a single word of dissent against the state. We here at BTV News will continue to bring you the cold, hard analytics that the mainstream media refuses to touch. But we need your help to break through the noise. Subscribe to this channel right now. Hit the notification bell so you are always in the know. Share this video with every parent and young person you know. The government wants you to stay quiet. They want you to believe they have your best interests at heart. But at BTV News, we look at the actions, not the optics. We look at the policy, not the press release. As we wrap up today's deep dive, I want you to take one thought with you. It's the philosophy we live by here. Remember what the hands are doing, not what the mouth is saying. I'm your forensic analyst, and this is BTV News. I'll see you in the next one.